Welcome to the seminar on prediction. I'm Ted Maker and I'm glad you're here. This is the first seminar on brain function. It corresponds to the second chapter in the book, and it's the third seminar in the series. If you've missed the prior seminars, you may want to go back and check them out. Each seminar builds on the previous ones. The purpose of today is to provide you with a basic understanding about how prediction works, how it can contribute to suffering, and how it gets knocked out of balance in today's hyperstimulated environment. Let's get started. It's a new chapter. It's time for a lighthearted moment. It's time for a poem. Chapter 2. The Brilliant Brain. What's going on? As soon as you wake and before leaving bed, give thanks to the stuffing that's inside your head. That stuffing's the famed Homo sapien brain, the organic jewel in our earthly domain. Our brains have evolved over millions of years into 3 pounds of tofu crammed between the ears. Open 24/7, 365, the old brain keeps on trucking right up till we die. Its primary job from the moment of birth is keep you alive while you're on planet Earth. Your brain makes exquisite and rapid connections based on past experience and current perceptions. The work is complex and involves lots of stuff. For our purpose here, 6 jobs are enough. The ones in the box are the ones we'll address to change brain response and build well-beingness. You need these 6 functions and how they are wired. For human survival, they are required. The problem is how the demands of the day cause brains to use them in suboptimal ways. As you are aware how the brain operates, you'll see what it's doing before it's too late. You'll alter its course, even slow down its pace, put new or amended patterns in place. I hope you and your brain enjoyed that. The human brain is amazing and highly complex, but we're going to focus on only 6 brain functions and their impact. We don't have to worry about anatomy or the neuroscience behind how they do what they do. The brain's prime directive is your survival. Predicting what's around the corner and prepping for action is critical to keep you alive. The common belief is that your brain is vigilantly scanning the environment and upon sensing something, decides it's a threat, initiates a signal to get the body to react, and the body reacts. This needle in a haystack model is way too slow. Current thought is the brain is continuously predicting what is going to happen based on past experiences. If something is different or triggers it, it initiates a signal to get the body to react based on the past. The body takes action, and then the brain assesses what's different between sensory input and the prediction and adjusts the signal of the reaction. This streamlined but skittish what's different model is fast, but not always accurate, and it has many false alarms. In essence, your brain is constructing what it perceives could happen rather than what actually is happening. Now, you're not aware of any of this until your attention directs your attention to it. So to you, it feels like it's happening instantaneously and feels like that's what's actually happening. But now knowing this, you can turn into or be more aware of the reactions of the moment. Sometimes you overreact. Sometimes you're out of sorts. Sometimes something doesn't feel right. Sometimes reality probably surprises you. The brain subsequently evaluates the outcome and stores any pertinent new learning as it reconsolidates the experience. Unless it doesn't. In today's world, so many threats are coming in from so many different directions, your prediction function just continually fires. The predictive function is not learning to differentiate between real and perceived threats, so with limited information, it defaults to a strong reaction just in case. As a result, your body is constantly getting shots of stress chemicals faster than it can metabolize them. Is it any wonder why many of us suffer from a low level of chronic stress? It's helpful to understand how some aspects of the predictive function work. When you are aware of them, you can modulate the degree of impact they have on you. One of them is concepts and instances. Obviously, the brain has to assess, sort through, and recall memories fast. Current thought is it does so through concepts and instances. From the moment of birth, your brain has been storing concepts on every aspect of life it encounters. A tree, a dog, happiness, truth, family, love. As it encounters additional instances, it stores them under the appropriate concept. Each of those instances includes the thoughts, emotions, body sensations, and sense of self you were at that time. Here's an example. Imagine that under the concept of dog, there are instances of small dog, friendly dog, and big barking dog running towards me. So you're walking along in the park. Unconsciously, your brain is predicting what's going to happen based on past experiences. And in a given moment, there's a noise behind you. That triggers the brain that a dog is approaching behind you. You're not even aware of it. You're lost in thought, thinking about how you hate your job or how you're looking forward to vacation. Without hesitation, your brain signals the big barking dog running towards me memory. And you'll experience that past instance, even though when you finally sense it and turn around, it's a squirrel, a person, or your neighbor's friendly dog. And if the brain draws up the friendly dog instance, it may bring along the big barking dog running towards me instance just to be safe. If the big barking dog running towards me instance is called up often enough, your brain promotes that inset to the concept level, and now your first reaction is to be wary of all dogs. Your brain is completely happy with this outcome. It's simple. Fear all dogs. The concept, instance, storage, and retrieval process focuses on speed, not accuracy. Just being aware of it loosens its grip on the accompanying reaction, because now you know your brain is just taking a guess on what could happen as opposed to what is actually happening. That loosening enables you to broaden your perspective and your context of the moment. These are two aspects of awareness that support the sense of all right now. Another aspect is an addiction to novelty. Your brain focuses on anything new, different, or unusual. It could be a threat, it could be safe, it could be painful, it could be pleasant, it could be attractive, it could be repulsive. The brain takes no chances. No matter what, the prediction function signals for a reaction based on the closest concept instance it can call up. And if it cannot recall one, it defaults to uncertainty, which triggers the negative reactions of worry and fear. A third aspect is the brain likes to take shortcuts. The brain has a number of shortcuts that ensure a fast reaction. These heuristics are built on personal history. They affect how you feel, how you assume life is. Here are three that you want to be aware of. 1. Expecting the worst. The brain perceives the world with a negative bias. It turns shadows to monsters and sticks into snakes. It tends to evoke worry and fear for perceived dangers, large or small. 2. Ignoring sensory input. The brain will go with the reaction from a recalled instance and disregard current input. The prediction omits reality. The brain doesn't see and then decides what to believe. It believes and then decides what it will see. So two people in the same place at the same time looking at the same thing will perceive it differently based on their histories and beliefs. And thirdly, the brain tells stories about oneself. The brain is quite insistent that your beliefs, your sense of self, how you think, feel, and behave, and your perception of reality is consistent. The brain creates narratives that tie these things together and streams them continuously and unconsciously. The stories aren't true, but to you they feel real and reflect who you are. Understanding this makes it easier to understand how FUD works. If your brain takes in their messages or propaganda regularly and you don't vet it for what it is, it gets stored as a concept or instance just as it is. As you are exposed to triggers that recall the propaganda more and more, your brain develops a narrative that ties it to your perception of reality, your beliefs, and your sense of self. As it becomes more ingrained in this way, you seek it more. Your brain even automatically generates thoughts that support the narratives. Eventually, you'll believe it's true. However, when you realize your brain uses these stories to construct your experience, you're able to differentiate between the brain's conditioned elements and the actual real elements of the experience. In summary, the predictive function runs at high speed, far faster than conscious thought. It has evolved a number of ways to predict and elicit action. Many don't reflect reality. It's biased to speed and action, not accuracy. Perhaps you now have a sense on how the brain races through the day and leaves you stressed. While there are few true life or death threats in our daily life, the predictive function has perfected creating them in our heads and reacting to them, and thus keeps us alive, but not necessarily feeling good. We're going to stop here. It's a lot to take in. We'll pose some questions for you to think about on the way out. Your answers will make it easier to understand and proceed with the core practices. Next up is socialization and adaptation. Thanks for listening. See you next time.